When the Canterbury earthquakes brought about the destruction of almost all the buildings in central Christchurch, it created a unique opportunity for an insight into the past. Anyone doing earthworks on a site which had activity prior to 1900 has to have an archaeologist on the site during demolition, and that's led to thousands of sites in Christchurch being assessed. This would never otherwise have happened. For archaeologists like Catherine Watson, the director and senior archaeologist at Underground Overground Archaeology, it's been a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Underground Overground, in conjunction with the TV show Heritage Rescue, has put together an exhibition which is at the Commons in central Christchurch of some items which they've found over the last few years. Our reporter Rachel Graham met up with Catherine Watson to have a look.
Can you just tell me a little bit about what's the sort of idea about this, what you've got on show here?
So we've got lots of artefacts related to children, really, or that we thought might intrigue children. That one in particular that we thought children might find pretty interesting is what's been called a glass-eyed skull, and it's a skull on the end of a clay tobacco pipe. So somebody would have smoked the pipe, the skull formed the bowl of the pipe, and they put the tobacco in there and smoked away, and shown off how important they were with their skull face.
And with a nice blue glass eyes there as well.
Yeah, the gorgeous blue eyes, and they're such bright blue, and being in the ground for 150 odd years hasn't dulled that colour at all.
It's great. And what have we got over here?
Oh, there's this gorgeous little boat which I love. It was found underneath. It's a toy boat, and it's just like a little canoe or walker almost, really. It was found under a house in the Avon Loop, quite near the Avon River. And I just like to imagine, children, who live in the house, and they're popping over to the river to, sail their boat on it and play in the river, and that kind of life, I guess, that revolved a little bit around the river. And also that, because the inside of it looks like it's quite hand-hewn, so it might have been made for the child by someone who knew them.
And you've got a number of shoes in the exhibition here as well. So these are just items that were found basically rubbish around people's under people's old properties,
that's right. And we do actually quite often find shoes in what we call underfloor deposits, so they're directly under the house rather than buried in a rubbish dump. I think they survive quite well in those conditions. But yeah, there are a number of children's shoes that you can see different styles of shoes that kids would have worn then.
And also over here we've got a couple of toilets. What is this showing us?
These are showing an excellent place to find archaeology, basically, and long drop pits, because once they'd finished using the pit, or they'd filled it up, or they'd got an inside toilet or an actual proper WC, they would fill up the long drop with lots of artefacts, they'd fill it up with their rubbish, actually, which are now our artefacts.
So they'd fill it up with just their household rubbish. It's a pit in your backyard and you just put things in it. That's basically what people are doing.
Because you've got the hole there already, you don't have to dig anything. It's, you need to fill it up, because otherwise it's going to be a bit dangerous. Perfect place for putting artefacts.
So, and what sort of things have you got in here that we've got on display?
Yes, so here you can see a little chamber pot that we actually found. So it would be a child's chamber pot that we actually found in a long drop. Got a couple of toothbrushes, which are not common artefacts, and also a jar of cherry toothpaste. So that was the toothpaste that would have been used. And you can see, obviously, it comes in a jar, not a tube, as well, and cherry flavoured. I don't think you'd find much cherry flavoured toothpaste these days. You never know.
And so these are all items that have been found around Christchurch, these ones too? Okay.
Yep, absolutely.
Right. So that's an old toothbrush with the bristles all sort of...
Yeah, it would have had, I think, boar bristles, probably, and the toothbrush itself is made from bone. So, in fact, what you were cleaning your teeth with was made from animal parts. It's quite interesting to think of, especially in terms of modern day